Okay, I ended up walking 25,000 steps a day, which is a lot because the trains here in my city, it they weren't working. It was like a protest thing. And yeah, I had to walk a lot, which is amazing. 25,000 steps. Yeah, it's basically more than 1,000 calories I just burned today. So I'm really happy about it. And during the walk that I had today, I was thinking, I was listening to podcasts. It was Chris Williamson podcast. He had a podcast with Alex Hormozy, and they talked a lot about the idea of passion and purpose, and it got me really thinking because I struggled with passion and the idea of passion. What's my passion? Also, purpose. What's my purpose? And this whole idea of purpose is now really like it's a new trend right now that oh you have to find your purpose as a dude, you have to have a purpose, all of this stuff. But no one really explains to you what purpose or passion is, and the explanation they give you, they are really vague, like really, like, seriously, you can interpret it the way you want. It's just I have a feeling most of them either they don't know what they're talking about or they intentionally give a really vague answer because they want to sell you something. Like you see, oh, guys should focus on their purpose and this is the most important thing. Okay, but what does this mean? What should they focus on? What is a purpose here? Right? I was thinking, and I think I kind of have I have the answer that really worked for me. I'm not saying this is the answer, but this just worked for me because I had struggled with this. Like I said, last year I went to university. I went to study mechanic. I didn't want to, but I just chose mechanical engineering. I felt really depressed. I said, "Why do I feel depressed? Like I know okay, I don't want to do this. Then what do I want to do?" And you go in this whole philosophical journey about like what is meaning of life, why should I be in life today. It's a really it's really mentally exhausting. So I want to share basically my framework, and hopefully that's going to be helpful. It has really nothing to do with the whole dieting body transformation, but I think long term speaking it is important because I'm playing the infinite game. That means I'm not just playing to get fit for 3 months. That's not my purpose. I want to just do this for the rest of my life. And I think uh, having an understanding what purpose and passion is really important because it helps you to play this infinite game. So let's start with purpose. In my opinion, purpose is basically something that you obsess over a lot, and that thing can change your life when you achieve that. It's usually some form of goal. Do you know what I mean? So let's say, for example, right now, I'm obsessing with the looks maxing and also coding. It just all I do is wake up, I train, I walk, and then I learn about coding. Also, I obsess about self improvement and all of this stuff and mental health. But like these are the things that I obsess about mostly. And when I looks max, I enhance my looks as much as I can. It definitely gonna change my life. When I get really good at coding, it also gonna change my life. So both of these let's say obsessions of mine, you can call them purpose because there is a goal involved. I'm gonna achieve something here. And I think this is basically, and this is, you might say, this is not a sexy answer. Like, because most people, when they think of purpose, oh, I want to change the entire world. I want to just end the world hunger. Amazing. You can have these things, but I don't believe in the beginning these are the biggest motivator. Because if you are, let's say, a real like you are really out of shape and you don't have any money, you can't really think about really big ambitions. It's really hard, and those big ambitions does not gonna motivate you. Like if you don't have money to eat, you're not gonna think of I'm gonna end the world hunger. It's just not gonna happen because you're obsessing about food. If you have no money in your life, for example, you're completely alone, then you're gonna obsess about finding someone. This is always this. This is like different layers. It's Maslow hierarchy basically. This is basically what I'm explaining. Like you have to fulfill this, and then at the end, you can say, okay, I'm financially secure. I'm live in a really safe environment, in a safe country, whatever. I'm taking care of my family. I have friends. I'm in a loving relationship. I look really good. I'm really confident. I'm really competent. What do you want to do then? And then you can find the things that you want to dedicate your life to. And still, I don't believe you will ever find something that you will dedicate your entire life to. Like when it comes to purpose, like, oh, I want to change the world, or you never really gonna find these kind of things. And the reason for it, because like I said, purpose is seasonal. It's not like you're not gonna wake up and say, okay, I'm gonna dedicate my entire life to one thing, like one specific goal, you know? And this is really important because I believed I was, oh, purpose is just changing the world. It's just you have to it's okay to be ambitious. I am. I do think about I'm gonna create an epic story. I'm gonna help a lot of people, but you should just uh, lower your ego a little bit and understand. Okay, I have to take smaller steps first. I have to just take care of my life. I have to fulfill these needs first, and then I don't have so many noises in my head. I can think clearly, and then I can focus more on the things that matters. Because, like I said, if you're financially insecure and you have nobody and you're out of shape, it's really hard for you to be choosing exactly the right career, because every career that you're going to choose is going to be influenced by these factors. You're going to choose the career that gives you the most money, or choose the path that gives you the most money, or that gives you most attention or status, so you can you can go and I don't know, find friends or sleep with people that you want to sleep with, you know what I mean? So if you're constantly being influenced by these needs, and our again, this is my opinion, our goal in life is to slowly finding the best way to fulfill these needs and go each season one step further. So for example, this is in my life, I just want to focus on looks maxing and coding, and basically whole focusing on my whole university and building a business. This is that. I don't know what's gonna happen when I achieve this. I genuinely have no idea. Like I have some assumption. I may go and help some people. I may build a company. I have this assumption in my head, but thinking about it is just meaningless, because I'm gonna dedicate my life 5 years to all of these things I just mentioned. But I don't know what's gonna happen after the 5 years, and nobody knows. Maybe the World War III happens tomorrow. Who knows? You know what I mean? So this idea of purpose is something that you have to dedicate your entire life to. You wake up and you know, oh, I have to do this. This is something I want to do for the rest of my life. Uh, Basically, this is a goal that I want to pursue, because it's different from passion. I'm gonna explain to you. This goal is something I want to pursue for the rest of my life. It's unrealistic, especially if you're young. Like I'm young. I'm like 23. I don't know how the world works. I still have lots of unanswered questions. So I have to slowly move upwards. Okay, I can't see the whole the entire path in front of me, but I can just see, like, okay, these are the next four steps. I can see the next four steps. And I believe this is way, way more important. It doesn't sound cool. It's not sexy because you say people ask, "What's your purpose?" Oh, I just want to retire my dad. I just want to have enough money to feel free. It isn't a sexy answer. The sexy answer is, "Oh, I'm gonna cure cancer. I'm gonna change the entire world." You know, and this is my opinion about the whole idea of purpose, and this helped me a lot because the reason that I was choosing mechanical engineering is because I believed that I have to dedicate my entire life to it, and that made me a lot depressed. That was one of the reasons I ended up being really depressed. Now let's go to passion. Passion is a task that you do that you either don't think about other things when you do it, so you're in the moment, and after you finish that task, you feel really good, right? Now, there is one important aspect here, and that is the passion must align with your values. And before I explain to you, let me give you an example. The most important thing about passion is that you don't find your passion, but you build it. And this is really important because we all believe, oh, okay, I have this passion. Some people have. Some people grow up with certain physical and mental advantages, and therefore they end up being reinforced for certain behaviors. So, for example, someone who's tall, really athletic, really great genetics when it comes to sports, he may end up being reinforced to be an athlete. Therefore, he ends up liking being an athlete. That's it. But if you were fat and you never end up being positively rewarded for being an athlete, you be laughed at, you probably don't want to. And this is really important because 5 years ago, if you asked me, "Do you love fitness?" I would laugh at you. If you ask me now, I would love to talk to you about fitness for hours. I love fitness. I think about gym. I read all the time about like health, fitness, how to grow muscle, how to lose weight, what's the best diet, how can I optimize my body. I love all of these things. But 5 years ago, I didn't really care what happened here. Now I genuinely believe like fitness is one of my passions. What happened here is what I built my passion. I didn't find it. Now, how do you build your passion? It's basically you choose something and you try to be really good at that thing. So you practice as much as you can. And in the beginning, you feel really shit. You say, "Oh, this is not for me. I don't like it, blah, blah, blah." Some people, even though they suck, they may like it, but lots of people don't. So they say, "I don't like it, it's not for me." And just say, for example, coding. You do like coding for 2 hours, it's just hard, man. After that, after practicing for 3 months, you say, "Okay, I'm really good at it." And you slowly end up getting positively rewarded for it. And all of a sudden, you say, "Holy shit, this is amazing, man." Like coding is the best thing ever. Sales is the best thing. Marketing, amazing. So you build your passion by become really, really, really good at something. One that thing basically. Now you might say, okay, then how do you find that thing? Because this means that I can choose anything and I end up being passionate about it, right? And then you might also ask, then why there are people, let's say billionaires or lawyers, like really rich lawyers, or really good at their job, or billionaires who are really good at their job, but they're really depressed, you know? And again, this is my observation. This is what I saw and experienced in my life. You can have passion and still be depressed if the other areas of your life sucks. You can be the best basketball player in the world, like you can be amazing in basketball, but if you have no friends, if actual true friends that really understand you and are really compatible with you, which is really rare, you don't have anybody in your life, you're completely like a loner, and you had shitty like traumatic childhood, and you don't like your life outside of a sport is really shit. You're not gonna, of course you're gonna be depressed, and most people, most of those billionaires, again, this is what I saw, this is what I read, I'm not sure, but most, I mean, I saw lawyers who were really successful but they had really shitty personal life. I saw them a lot, especially like rich lawyers, like all of them, career wise they were genius, they were like Mozart of law, but their personal life was shit. Their personal life was horrible, you know? And I believe the biggest reason that these kind of people are depressed is because they have shitty personal life and they never worked on it. Now, let's go back to the question, okay, how can I like, choose a path, choose the passion that I want to build? I believe the best way you can choose a passion that you want to build that makes you really happy about it is choosing something that aligns with your values. So again, let's go back to the the lawyer or investment banker. Maybe an investment banker or a lawyer wanted to become, chose this career because they wanted respect, but they also wanted freedom and they wanted power. But the environment of law and the environment of investment banking, some of them, they can be really toxic and they have to work a lot and they have no freedoms. You can't say they have to make a lot of money, but they don't have a lot of freedoms. And therefore they end up being depressed, even though they're really good at their job. Now, of course, the personal life also is, in chaos. But one of the biggest reasons is because what they choose, the career that they chose, does not line with the values that they really care about in life. For example, for the reason I chose coding, because coding gives me a lot of freedom. That means it's not just freedom that I can work everywhere, but also freedom and flexibility. I can choose coding and go and work in any industry I want. I can go in science, I can go in the car industry, I can go in even art related industry. I can work in any industry with coding. And this freedom, this is something that I genuinely care. The reason that I'm building this personal brand is because it gives me freedom. So I enjoy doing it eventually. Like, even though sometimes I hate it, but eventually I know I'm gonna end up enjoying it when I get really good at it because it aligns with my values. I wanted the freedom, and also uh, this when I do this and work a lot, I'm gonna end up really liking it because I end up getting positively reinforced and rewarded for it. And the last thing is about the passion is you also need to understand like what you want to sacrifice. Like what is the most obsessive and extreme version of you following your passion? What does this look like? For example, if you want to become a doctor, you want to like obsessively study as much as hard as you can. You may they constantly try to test yourself, constantly reading, and after that, you want to go find mentors and work, under those mentors a lot, to travel around the world, find the best doctors, and try to work with them, persuade them to work with them, even for free. You do these are really extreme versions of that. If you genuinely wanted to become the best doctor, if you genuinely wanted to perfect your craft, what would you do? And when you write that, say, okay, these are all the things that I have to do in order to perfect my craft. then you have a better understanding. Because if you don't want to put 100% of your focus on it, then it probably is not worthy. It just doesn't work. Don't start it. If you want to just go half, you know, say, yeah, you know what, I like being a doctor. I just want to make a living. I don't really care about anything. Yeah, I don't think. I'm not sure it's gonna work. But if you say, okay, I love the idea of medicine. I love the idea of perfecting my skills and learning from mentors and constantly learning new things. That's different. That's a different mindset. That's something that you have to follow. Anyway, this is basically my idea about passion and purpose. This is something I really like obsessed about for the last year. You can say that the finding the meaning behind purpose was my purpose. Sounds weird, but I just want to share it with you because, like I said, I don't want to say wasted 1 year of my life, but it took 1 year of my life to really understand what these words means, because the meanings behind words are really important, and when you understand them, then you can use them and apply those words in your life.